guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Kind of slept in this morning, that's why my eyes still look, sleepy. My name is Ruowen Huang. I am an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I want to talk about inner child. It's funny, I thought I explained things, and sometimes my friend always tease me saying I always assume people know everything. Which I do, believe it or not. I actually assume everybody know everything. So that means every time I come up with a term, I automatically assume you know what it meant. That is, if I say inner child, I assume you know what it meant, right? So it's not until later if my follower asks me, so what is inner child really? And then you would put me on the spot. How can you not know, right? But anyway, today we're gonna talk about inner child. You'll be surprised we all have one in there. We just don't know it's there. We think we've grown up. We think, we live our life so long we know better, but actually we don't. Even me. I'm not saying you guys only. I'm saying that including me. And that including a lot of people, successful people out there. We all have an inner child in me. Where the inner child come from, the inner child is basically your task, the task you have to overcome with. So if you refer to the previous episode, I talked about the task of life or the purpose of life, right? In order to reach purpose of life, you have to overcome the task of life. So where does the task of life come from? Task of life come from this inner child you build within yourself. It usually form somewhere between you a 5-year-old or 10-year-old, somewhat, whatever happens, then you decide that inner child is there to stay. So, so that sentence usually, that inner child usually would carry a sentence that is very simple. That usually starts subject you, like I am blah, 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 or you always have you in there. So take me for example. My sentence is nobody wants me, right? So my inner child would take that as a golden rule to run my life, right? Run my life in various different ways. As older you get, if you're younger, you can hear that sentence all the time. Probably from the kids, you hear them all the time. You can easily catch. But as you grow older, got more vocabulary, become more sophisticated, eventually get buried down, and then you actually don't know what that sentence really is. It's not until you continue asking why to yourself, like, yeah, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel a need to defend for myself? Why? Usually I would say you have to ask at least 5 continuously questions to dig in before you can discover what is the sentence that inner child I hold on to. So back to me. Take me for example. If my inner child is nobody wants me, that is every clue what other people do out there will easily trigger that inner child in me to throw a tantrum. That is, it could be just the way they look at me. It could be a sentence they say. It could be their behavior. It could be anything. It could be anything that would somehow trigger to that, okay, that inner child is very sensitive. Just imagine how the kids are. Kids are sensitive. That inner child is equally sensitive. So it could be anything that would easily trigger them. And all of a sudden, you have that inner child in you that feel the need to throw a tantrum, or sometimes it's more passive way of tantrum. You know what I mean, right? So you will always hear that back noise like, everybody hates me, or nobody would like me, or, it's all about you. Really, it's all about you. If you ever dig down to that inner child and say, just say it, what sentence it is that you are thinking of, it's always about you. It's never about anybody else. It's always about you and you only, right? So then that child will basically use that to run your life. So as we adult, we thought we know better. we know a better way to live our life. The truth is we don't. We continue having a child running our life. We just don't know that. So we all know in reality, right? In a household, we all know how the result is if a child is running that family, right? I mean, it's never good. What would child know? The child, all parents follow everything the kids ask and they do. Every time kids throw a tantrum, parents just give in. Come on, we all know where the result's gonna go, right? It's the same thing to this. So if we are not aware our life is being run by a child and we continue allowing it to run our life, eventually you will probably come to this breaking moment is my life is miserable, right? I mean, we all have it. I had it too. So my life is, this, you cannot see the future and it's miserable, it sucks, or whatever you're gonna name it. Why? The chance is your life is probably run by this child. You just don't know that. So it does take time for you to figure out what, sorry. You can tell this is real time. I'm just so doing everything at once. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, we all have one in us, but it takes us to figure out what it is. Only when you notice what sentence that inner child is holding against you and make your life sucks or miserable, then you actually got something to work on. If you are not even aware you have an inner child in you, the chances you don't know what to work on, really. You were just saying, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. You feel sucks, but you don't know what direction you're supposed to focusing on work it, right? So back to the beginning, if you continue looking into yourself, what happened is when this inner child is throwing a tantrum, you will feel it. You always feel. You feel like, you within yourself, there's an episode going on. You expect, guess you start create a scenario. You think this person mean that, and then that hurts. They say that it hurts, and then you have a need to do something to ease that pain. Either you cry, or you throw a fit yourself, or you start eating like crazy, because you feel you're being hurt in a certain way, right? That is usually caused when you have that kind of strong emotion that hit you. That's usually because your inner child is acting up. Why is he acting up? As I say, I don't know. I know mine, but you have to take time to figure out yours. But the clue I can give it to you is holding on to one sentence, and the sentence usually use you as a subject. I am blah blah blah, or nobody love me. You always have you in there. It's very simple because sentence come from child. Cannot be difficult, but it's very simple. It takes you to figure out what that sentence is. So when you find that child in you, now it's a time you will have a adult conversation with this kid. Every time it act up, trust me, even for me, it takes a long time to have a conversation. Like, okay, calm down now. Let's have a talk. Why are you feeling this way, right? You almost have to have an angel and devil talking all the time. This kid's like, rah, 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 rah. Because they're doing this, because they rah, 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 rah. They talk like kids. And then your conscious adult will say, well, just because people say that doesn't mean that. But why are you feeling this way, right? Is it your test you have to overcome? Right? Is that something that we've been hanging on, I don't know for how long, 20 years, 40 years? You discover it earlier, good for you, because then you can overcome it. You can have a conversation with the inner child earlier. So the more exercise you do this, the more you will feel calm about yourself. The chances that inner child, the more conversation you have, the less drama you will have to deal with within yourself. So, today I just really want to quickly introduce what inner child is. So if I can sum it up, inner child is basically a child in you that you create while you are setting up the platform task of life to overcome. Your inner child will hold on to that test of life and almost fight against of you all the time. So what we adults sometimes do, that including me, is sometimes because it's such a drama within ourselves, we tend to give in, isn't it? Sometimes we just too tired, don't want to deal with it, so we give in. What I'm saying is giving is okay, but don't allow it to happen all the time. When you actually have an energy sometimes, do have a conversation, do recognize it, and do have a conversation within yourself. Have a one-on-one moment, back and forth conversation with yourself. Why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel the need to react this way, right? Why do I feel the need to hurt people back, right? Because some part somehow in me is hurt, but am I really hurt? Really, if I pull myself out of the situation and go ask the person, another person who obviously don't hold this as a task, would they think the same, right? Those are the things, those are the little exercises you will actually have to, practice in order to get stronger and better. Those are the things that you will have to, do in order to overcome if you really have intention to overcome your test of life in order to fulfill your life, that is the direction I will suggest you to start working on, no matter how old you are, because we all have an inner child in us. Like inner child in us usually feel very broken, usually feel very vulnerable, usually feel, the whole world is fighting against us. It does come out. Every time it comes out, it tends to throw a fit or tantrum. It just depends on our personality. Some of us tend to suppress it and not saying anything. Some people will throw a fit, right? But as you get older, you will hide it better. So that's why the older you get, the more lost you are sometimes. So I hope that would give you a little bit idea what inner child is, because I was surprised how many people actually don't know that. So we all have a child in us, but it takes you. Nobody else can console this child but you. Take you to have a sit-down moment with your child in regular basis. Seriously, in regular basis. You would be surprised. If you start paying attention, you realize how often this inner child come up and tell you how to live your life. So if you ever have this moment, sit down feeling frustrated and think your life sucks, the chances you have a life that's running by an inner child. Not by you, but by the inner child. You allow this inner child to run your life. That's why you come down to this moment feeling it sucks, right? That's why you sit at home thinking whole world is fighting against you. Perception. As I said, kids' perception is never correct. It's a little bit over-exaggerated, and then that's exactly why. So I hope that answered the question and give you guys a little bit idea of what inner child really is. Learn to catch this kid. Don't let this kid run your life, because you decide how your life should go. So again, if you guys like what I'm doing, join me live in Periscope, or go to my Facebook, or subscribe my YouTube channel, or go to my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.